I just came out of one of the most unearthing experience I've ever had in gaming. I thought, you know what? Let's start up season 4 reloaded and let's see what it's all about, right? That there's nothing strange in that. And when you start up the game, you need to update, obviously, because you haven't touched it in a while. And then what you then have is a situation wherein you are being asked to restart because of a new update. In why does it have to be so difficult for Call of Duty just to update a file and then just play the game? There are tons of other games that are able to do it, and well, okay, apparently they're not. You're then being treated to a environment where microtransactions that make no freaking sense, because this would have been the biggest 90s vibe and the most advanced Call of Duty, and realism was a thing. Is what the hell is even this?
Striking that balance between real and hyper real.
Then and what is Call of Duty even? I think that's the core. What is it even? Is it a live service game? No, it's not, because it's an annual release. Is it a Fortnite light? No, it's not. It's not even close to Fortnite. Whatever you think of Fortnite, Fortnite does everything better in Fortnite than Call of Duty ever will. And why is it so hard for Call of Duty to just stick with their identity? They completely lost where they came from. It's just beyond freaking belief. So the question is and remains, why the hell did Call of Duty forget where it came from? It began early 2000. You know, each release brought a fresh wave of excitement, new maps, innovative mechanics, and a community that thrived on competition and collaboration. You know, Call of Duty wasn't a game. It was a culture, you know, a rite of passage for gamers worldwide. And in these golden days, players, we stormed the beaches in Normandy. We're battling through futuristic cities in the adrenaline rush of well-placed sniper shot, or the joy of a perfectly executed team strategy in some modes was just beyond epic. We forged friendships across continents, bonding over shared victories, strategic banter, or just plain fun and jokes. The game wasn't just pastime, it was a shared universe where even online friends or even friends in real life were born. Well, however, as the years rolled on, a shadow began to creep in this vibrant world. The once celebrated franchise released its first installment under the banner of a new era years ago, promising more action, more thrills, but underneath this glossy surface lay a darker reality, the relentless pursuit of freaking profit. With each push of annual release, the game began to morph into a cash cow, milking its loyal fan base with full-price titles, while trying to act as some freaking live service Fortnite game. It felt less like a polished product and more like an unfinished canvas splashed with the brushstrokes of greed. That was it. Well, and when we navigate that battlefield, we find ourselves just ambushed, not by enemy fire, but by a freaking barrage of microtransactions. Skins, weapons packs, season passes, it all flooded the game, and it transformed the gameplay into a transactional experience. What was once a pure competition became just a showcase, I guess, on who could spend the most. The joy of earning rewards through skill is constantly overshadowed by the allure of buying. Suddenly your worth is not measured by your freaking skill or prestige emblems, but by the depth of your freaking wallet. And then the real ghost that we're dealing with right now, those lurking shadows in the form of cheaters. Once we relied on own skill and strategy, now we found ourselves just up against a wall of aimbots and wall hacks. The thrill of outmaneuvering someone is now replaced with frustration and resentment. Community, the brotherhood, united by the love of the game, it begins to fracture right now. Players, we're turning on each other, we're seeking refuge in echo chambers, and we're just constantly bragging about the loss and what we've once cherished, right? Yeah. Meanwhile, we have now skill-based matchmaking. Now, it enforced a rigid hierarchy that stripped away the entire spontaneity of a casual match. And this is where COD further removed itself from where it once was. It's an arcade, fast-paced, spawn-die-spawn system. And we're now being matched against opponents of similar skill, which may be fair on the surface, is just suffocating the entire joy of casual play. Every freaking match feels the same. A relentless climb through a ladder of promised nothing that gives fatigue and disappointment. That's the only thing. Every freaking match is now the same, and we all get bored. We leave the game, and meaning that the sole purpose of skill-based matchmaking, protecting the player base, is failing. And the only ones left are sweats and cheaters. So the magic of just one more game is now fading into some kind of a distant memory, leaving only a hollow echo of empty lobbies. I've tried it myself now, and I just couldn't spend more than maybe 45 minutes, an hour, and then it was already done, you know. Okay, well, as a community, I guess we're watching, and I think just as you guys, I'm hopeful but cautious, and any whisper of a new direction that begins to emerge from developers, and now over Black Ops 7, it's just everything is the same every year. It's the most advanced Call of Duty, the most immersive, unprecedented amount of support, and all these promises, and every year we're stuck with the same game, wrapped in the same promises, presented with the same issues, you know. I really hope that they could respark this flame. I truly, you know, I love Call of Duty for what it once was and what it can be. And could these guys just remind us that gaming is just not a transaction, but a shared experience, peeps? It's, well, in the end, you know, the downfall of Call of Duty is not merely a tale of lost glory, I guess. It's a reminder of a delicate balance between artistry and commerce, and I'm almost biblical in this freaking rant, but you know, this battlefield is just growing ever more quiet in the terms of lobbies, you know, but the spirit of the game, connection, competition, creativity, fun, speed, it's still there. It just waits to be reignited, I guess. So guys, as we all log off, one thought is echoing: let's hope for a resurrection, one round at a time. This was Movement 6. Out.